Coming up on Falcon Weekly, an iconic film is coming to the Reynolds stage. We take a peek behind the curtain to see how the theater department is preparing for Rocky Horror.
And baseball season is still a few months away, but the team is already hitting the weight room. Find out what they're focusing on for the 2016 season.
Could you grow a garden by planting pencils? See how one company's turning your worn-out pencil into produce.
Plus, another controversy is brewing at Starbucks. See why people are steaming mad about the coffee company's Christmas cups.
And later, 'tis the season to be stressed. Find out some simple techniques to soothe away holiday anxiety. Falcon Weekly starts right now. And welcome to Falcon Weekly. I'm Courtney Stroop.
And I'm Elizabeth Reinhardt. Thanks so much for joining us.
The UM Theater Department's production of the Rocky Horror Show is opening Wednesday, November 11th.
Falcon Weekly's Clark Stackhouse has more on how the costumes are being finished before the cast takes the stage for the premiere.
Why don't you stay for the night?
Many people have seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show and know its iconic costumes. As UM Theater prepares for their production of the movie's source material, the Rocky Horror Show, costume designer Emily Gill says that she's excited to do Rocky and add another dream show to her resume.
We may do these sort of iconic shows or these really popular shows, but we always put our own spin on them.
But not to expect what you see in the movie.
That I don't necessarily have to be beholden to the design that has come before me. So it's kind of fun.
Gill said her inspiration comes from 1950s horror movies. She looked at pop culture comics and magazines from that period and was drawn to their bright, saturated colors.
I have to take all that and turn it into a shirt, and I found the kind of psychobilly movement. So that's why you see all the tattoos, you see all the Technicolor hair, you see the shapes of garments and things like that are in that area.
One of the most iconic garments of the show, Dr. Frankenfurter's corset, is a part of Senior Jay Hallenbeck's undergraduate research.
But the corset design and the fabric together gives him that like alien look, and it's nothing like I've ever seen before, so I'm really excited.
The corset will remain a mystery until opening night. Reporting for Falcon Weekly, I'm Clark Stackhouse, shivering with anticipation.
For the opening of the Rocky Horror Show on Wednesday, November 11th. Tickets are available now in Reynolds Hall. The show runs through November 15th.
Last Wednesday, the University Program Council hosted their semi-annual Stuff a Friend event in Anna Irvin. Students got to choose between an unstuffed dolphin, husky, or giraffe. Once they had their deflated pet, students could go to a table and use the filling to stuff their friend as full as they wanted. Students could also place a star inside their pet to serve as the animal's heart or soul. After stuffing their new friends, students could fill out a birth certificate, including a name, birth date, and the name of the birth parent. UPC coordinator Roosevelt Mendez says there is lots of demand for this event.
People are always waiting at the door, and it is in the fall and in the spring. So in the spring you'll have your cows and lions and a green side animal, and then in the fall you'll have it all over again with brand new animals every year.
According to the UPC, more than 400 students attended this semester's Stuff a Friend event. This past Thursday, Alpha Kappa Lambda held their second Family Feud philanthropy event. 2 fraternities and 3 sororities competed. Family Feud is played with 2 teams going head-to-head. Alpha Tau Omega and Chi Omega were the last 2 Greek organizations at the buzzer table to play for first place. ATO won the event and $50 towards their philanthropy. AKL Philanthropy Chair Michael Laviere says with a $30 entrance fee, they made a little over $150.
We've raised tonight goes to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. That's our fraternity's national philanthropy.
AKL will be holding their Hunger Games event in the spring. Family Feud will be held again next year, but the date is to be determined.
Students gathered in Farmer Thursday to watch Dr. Patton vs. the World, an annual trivia game held on campus. The event pits students and faculty against philosophy professor Dr. Michael Patton in a test of their worldly knowledge. The categories range from common facts to the totally obscure. Subjects included local history, physics, and entertainment. A three-way tie required a sudden death round, which ended with V for Varagona, a team made up of 3 professors and 1 high school student emerging as the victors. Team member Steve Forrester was glad to see Patton defeated.
It's about damn time. Oh, sorry, should I not say that? Yeah, sorry.
I think it'll be okay.
The world at last is vindicated.
I'll be back. I don't know how you paid off the judges this year, but I'm watching you people, all of you. I will be back better than ever. I'll be more trivial than you can possibly imagine.
This is the second time this year that math professor Dr. Scott Varagona has been part of winning a large campus event. Earlier this semester, he won the coveted oar in the life raft debate. Here's a look at campus events coming up this week.
The head of nonprofit film and television at Playtone, Kirk Sandusky, will be on campus this Wednesday for a marquee event focusing on producing documentary films.
The event will take place at 3 o'clock in LeBaron Recital Hall in Davis Music Building. The presentation is free and open to the public. For information on how to reserve seats, please contact the College of Fine Arts Dean's office.
WOW Weekend is almost here. The SGA-sponsored event will take place this Friday and Saturday, November 13th and 14th, at the Student Life Center in Farmer Hall. The Disney-themed festivities will begin with a fall festival Friday evening at 4 and continue Saturday night at 6 with Disney trivia and prizes. Both days will count as AIM events.
Hunting season is in full swing in Alabama, which means a lot of bullets and arrows will be flying on hunting grounds. I talked with some local hunters to find out what they do in order to prevent accidents while hunting this fall and winter. Between the months of October to January, many people spend a lot of their free time out in the woods. October 15th marked the beginning of Alabama's bow hunting season. While hunting may be a sport, there are many safety precautions hunters must consider in order to keep themselves and others out of harm's way. Stone Pritchett has been hunting for almost 14 years, and during those years he has learned what he can do to make hunting a safer sport.
With firearms, it's making sure the gun's unloaded at all times up until you're in the tree stand or shooting house, and make sure that the gun's unloaded when you're leaving the stand or the shooting house.
It's also important to be extremely aware of your surroundings if hunting with a group of people, so you know exactly where your peers are before you shoot an arrow or a gun. This can be done by communicating or wearing orange. And if you prefer to shoot from a tree stand, it's necessary to wear a safety harness.
It's easy to fall out of the stand and slip, and if you have that safety harness on there, then it'll catch you and keep you from falling 15, 20, 30 feet.
In addition to being safe out in the woods, there are some necessities every hunter takes when heading out to the tree stand or shooting house for hours. Sport hunter David Pritchett suggests bringing layers of clothing.
I always like to wear plenty of warm clothes, and I always bring plenty of warm socks. If your feet ever get cold, you're miserable.
David also suggests taking small snacks and handkerchiefs. Gun season will begin in Alabama on November 16th.
Remember, there's more news online 24/7. Just search for Falcon Weekly on Facebook and Twitter to see more stories and news updates throughout the week. Coming up, find out how SpongeBob SquarePants helped the 7th grade boy save a classmate's life.
And with Thanksgiving coming up, we'll see how New York City is preparing for one of their most beloved balloon traditions.
And later on Falcon Fever, see how this women's cross-country team is making history at Montevallo. We'll be right back.
Hey. Hey, could we please watch something else?
Well, what do you want to watch?
The Montevallo For You YouTube channel. Look at all those videos. You can watch it any time of the day from anywhere.
Cat videos are still better.
Preposterous!
Welcome back to Falcon Weekly.
Laura Poitras joins us with the latest health headlines. Laura?
Thanks, guys. It's no secret that drinking too many sugary soft drinks can lead to weight gain, tooth decay, and many other health problems. Now, more bad news for soda sippers. A new study in the British Medical Journal says men who drank just 2 sweetened drinks per day had a 23% higher risk of going into heart failure. According to a study in the journal Circulation, sugary drinks may be linked to an estimated 184,000 adult deaths each year worldwide. Health experts recommend limiting your soda intake and drinking more water. Check this out. Autistic 7th grader Brandon Williams surprised his teachers and classmates last week when he saved his friend from choking. He says he learned what to do by watching SpongeBob SquarePants. Brandon saw an episode where SpongeBob performs the Heimlich maneuver on another character. When Brandon's classmate, Jessica, began choking on an apple, he jumped into action with the life-saving skills he learned on TV. Brandon's parents say they had no idea their son knew how to do this, but they're extremely proud of him. Would you eat a tomato that grew from a pencil? One Danish company is working to save the planet one pencil at a time. The Sprout World company makes pencils you can plant when you are done using them. Instead of an eraser at the tip, the pencils contain a biodegradable capsule with seeds inside. Once the pencil is too short to use, just plant the stub in some dirt and water it. When the capsule dissolves, the seeds grow into a plant. The Sprout pencil started a Kickstarter campaign and is now available on Amazon. It comes in 14 varieties, including tomato, lavender, basil, sunflower, and green pepper. Take a deep breath. The holiday season is in full swing, and it's easy to get stressed out with all of the parties, presents, and traveling. But there are ways to relieve some of that physical tension. Holly Furfer explains in today's Health Minute.
We're going to start first with the breath, and the reason we're going to do that is that's the most direct way to interrupt stress.
For more than 30 years, Dennis Buttermer has worked as a mind and body coach, helping people manage their tension. That stress usually creeps up higher than usual during the holidays, with shopping, traveling, and family gatherings. But Dennis has some ways to keep that stress level to a minimum. First, just breathe.
What we're going to do is a yogic breath. So we're going to inhale through the nose, and we're going to fill up our stomach like a balloon, and then let your chest rise up. And on the exhale, you just squeeze the stomach gently.
Then, create a relaxation response.
I'm going to ask you to either tap alternately on the outsides of your shoulders, or with your index fingers just alternately tapping on the outsides of your knees. And now imagine a source of this holiday stress for you. Could be pressures, expectations, could even be grief. But when you tap the right side, it's actually tapping more so on the left side of the brain and vice versa. So it's hard to hold that upset state that you're in.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Holly Furfer.
Dennis says you should take a few minutes every day to get rid of stress because it can help improve your quality of sleep, reduce your headaches, lower blood pressure, and release muscle tension. And that's all for today's health headlines. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Laura. Thanksgiving is just a few weeks away.
And while you may be thinking about what you'll eat for Thanksgiving dinner, the organizers of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade are prepping for one of the biggest parades in the world. Reporter Iluna Gold has our story.
Everybody on that crew, you ready?
These crews have a big challenge ahead of them today at Citi Field.
1, 2, 3.
Hoisting these giant colorful characters ranging up to 67 feet tall and taking them on their first test run as crowds watch in amazement.
To see them this close and to be able to touch one of them today, which we were able to, is pretty cool.
Macy's unveiling the 4 new balloons that will debut in this year's Thanksgiving Day Parade. What do you think?
I love them.
What's your favorite?
I like the Good Dinosaur the best.
Scrat and his acorn from the movie Ice Age will lead all 17 balloons along the parade route. There's also Red from Angry Birds, and his distinctive eyebrows measure 7 feet wide.
There's nothing more exciting when we see a launch of a new character, something that comes to life for the first time.
One of the classics, Ronald McDonald, has transformed into his 4th version this year, and Dino, the Sinclair Oil dinosaur, is making a comeback. It hasn't flown in the parade since 1976. Dino is the size of an actual dinosaur, and it's the only life-size balloon in the parade this year.
That's only happened once before in the parade, and that was Clifford the big red dog.
But today isn't just about the sights. These handlers are checking the inflation and seeing how these balloons deal with the wind, and they got plenty of experience with the morning gusts.
To really see in rough conditions what we're facing, so that if we do get a gust of wind in between the buildings in New York on parade day, that we'll be ready for it.
And after this practice run, these giants in the sky will get prepped for the big day, where they'll wow millions. At Citi Field, Ilana Gold, TV 1055.
New York City is also busy preparing for Christmas. A 78-foot Rockefeller Center Christmas tree was raised up Friday. It will be lit for the first time on Wednesday, December 2nd. Tens of thousands will crowd the sidewalks for the event, and hundreds of millions will watch it live across the globe. The tree will remain lit and can be viewed until January 6, 2016.
And Christmas shopping season is in full swing.
Falcon Weekly's Candace Crutchfield joins us for a look at today's consumer news. What have you got for us today, Candace?
Thanks, guys. It doesn't matter whether you have been naughty or nice, Walmart is offering 10 online specials a day all through the holiday season. The items for sale include video games, electronics, and toys, and recently Walmart has been rolling prices back more than usual. These items will be available on the Daily Savings Center website. And fast food service will slow down Tuesday when workers go on strike. They are demanding the right to form a union and protest for an increase in their wages to $15 per hour. Protests are planned in 270 cities across the country. The fast food workers and other low-income workers will also gather at the city halls of each large city and protest in hopes to sway the 2016 presidential. And thousands of protesters are expected to be heard Tuesday at the Republican presidential debate in Milwaukee. Americans are loving their cars right now. In October 2015, auto sales are up 14% from last year. General Motors is expecting to break the record for the entire year. Analysts say the revved up sales are due to low unemployment, cheaper gas prices, low interest rates, and more available credit. However, Volkswagen is not on the wagon for this one. In the wake of their widening emissions scandal, VW sales are flat compared to last year. And Toyota is making a $1 billion investment in artificial intelligence. The Japanese auto giant is hoping to be ahead of the race in research to roll out a self-driving car. This 5-year investment will create one of the largest research labs in Silicon Valley. The head of Toyota's new lab says the investment will be fund research toward automated vehicles. Along with these studies, the robotic technology for homes, factories, and healthcare will be established. Another research building will be in Cambridge, Massachusetts, near MIT. About 200 scientists will be hired for Toyota studies in the artificial intelligence. And that's a look at this week's consumer headlines. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Candace. Still ahead, do you find foreign accents to be attractive? Find out what scientists say about the certain accents we find sexy.
And it was a special game for a group of Falcon volleyball players. Coming up, Falcon Fever, Matt Haskins shows us how the team celebrated the senior players. We'll be right back.
Between class, work, and everything else on your plate, there isn't a whole lot of time to watch the news.
And that's why here at Falcon Weekly, we focus on the stories that you need to hear.
So once a week, tune in for the news that impacts your life and matters to you.
From campus events to entertainment and health updates to the latest national and world news, Falcon Weekly is your one-stop shop for information.
And you can always find information from us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Falcon Weekly. Find your news here.
Welcome back to Falcon Weekly. Now it's time for the buzz.
Buzz anchor Hannah Rich and weather reporter Austin Gates join us for a look at this week's buzzworthy stories. Hannah, what have you got for us today?
Thanks, guys. Our first is brewing with holiday controversy.
Starbucks' recent release of Simple Red holiday cups has sparked a not-so-merry response from some customers. They complain that the cup's lack of traditional holiday symbols like snowflakes or reindeer is an attack on Christmas. Many have started a viral campaign in protest called #MerryChristmasStarbucks. Starbucks says the cup's minimalistic design was so customers could use them as blank canvases to draw their own Christmas stories in their own way. What are your thoughts about these cups?
I think they're just blowing it way out of proportion. I don't see it as an issue whatsoever.
Yeah, it's a red cup.
Yeah. And it wasn't Christmas symbols before. Like snowflakes and reindeer aren't really.
On it.
Yeah, but that's not really at Christmas. You know, it's winter.
Yeah.
It's just another thing for people to get offended over.
Yeah, people
Shocker.
are too easily offended.
I'm
People
sure
are offended
Starbucks
at the
will
drop
be
of a hat
fine,
right now.
Yeah.
A comic posted online portrays presidential candidates in a more villainous light. Online comedy site College Humor posted these photos recently depicting this year's presidential candidates as Disney villains based on their personalities and political opinions. Some comparisons include Jeb Bush as Scar from The Lion King, Bernie Sanders as Hades from Hercules, and Hillary Clinton as Snow White's evil queen. How accurate do you guys find these comments?
I think some of them are pretty spot on.
Yeah, some of them seem pretty accurate.
I like Scar.
Yeah,
It's
they're
actually
funny.
scary.
Yeah.
They looked a lot like them.
Yeah. I think it's funny that Donald Trump is 3 of
Yeah.
like the most annoying
They
villains
couldn't find
ever.
just one.
There weren't enough characters for Donald
Right.
Trump.
A recent survey may prove once and for all which accent is the most attractive. The study, conducted by dialect coach Shara Shepard, started as a survey that was part of a marketing campaign for British Airways. 1,000 Americans and 1,000 British people were interviewed. Americans named Sean Connery as having the best British accent of all time, while the Brits picked Morgan Freeman as the best American accent of all time. Participants also said that the overall sexiest accent belonged to Italians, with French and Irish accents ranking high as well. Which accents do you guys think are the sexiest?
I kind of agree with the British. I always like Australian, kind of.
Yeah,
like the
Australian.
David.
I like the British.
Yeah.
Like Keith Urban.
It's
Australian.
He is. I always forget he is because he's a country singer.
Yeah, country singer from Australia.
For me personally, you can never go wrong with a good old-fashioned Scandinavian.
Thanks, Hannah. Now it's time for a check of our Montevallo forecast.
Falcon Weekly's Austin Gates joins us with a look at this week's weather.
Thanks, guys. This week, there's heavy rain closing down some streets in Charleston, South Carolina Monday. Cars and pedestrians alike are trying to navigate through the high water around town as rain continues to fall. Police have set up barricades to keep people from traveling down some flooded streets. And Tropical Storm Kate is brewing near the Bahamas. It became the 11th named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season Monday morning. The National Hurricane Center says winds are currently at 40 miles per hour, and tropical storm warnings are in effect in areas around the Bahamas. The forecast track keeps Kate away from us, the U.S. East Coast. And check out this spectacular sight out of Australia. It looks like a giant wave in the sky, but it's actually a shelf cloud. Slowly moving towards the ocean, towards Sydney's Bondi Beach. One woman said people were running from the streets to capture images of the unbelievable cloud formation with their smartphone cameras. And it was cloudy in Australia, and it's cloudy in Alabama today, but not any shelf clouds here. Today we've had really cloudy weather. We have some rain coming into the area, a high chance of rain in the dark green area right here in Auburn, Alexander City, Montgomery, Anniston. Some lighter chance in Birmingham and around Montevallo, Clanton, Selma. And some really light chance over here with the 60s over here. It's a little cold outside. It's a little warm in the studio here today. And tonight, as we move into tonight, we have some lows, 48 in Birmingham, 49 in Clanton, some 50s down towards Eufaula, Troy, and Auburn, and we have some still high 40s up here in the northwest corner. And this week's forecast, we have Tuesday, we have a high of 70, low of 46. Going to move into some high 70s. some 60s Thursday and Friday. And then this weekend, we're going to cool off again, 57, 59, and the lows in 37, 45, also low 37 Friday. And that's this week's forecast. Thank you, guys. Back to you.
Coming up on Falcon Fever, with basketball season starting this week, we have everything you need to know heading into the men's home opener this Friday.
Also, the women's cross-country team adds another piece of hardware to their trophy case. Find out what it is and much more coming up. Falcon Fever is next.
You want to feel connected, informed, included, inspired. So when important things happen, we're here. Your local TV and radio broadcasters. America's #1 source for news, weather, and information. On every screen in your life. We are broadcasters, always here for you, wherever here may be. Text TV to 52886. Tell Washington local stations matter.
Welcome to Falcon Fever. I'm Matt Haskins with a look at this week's sports news. The women's cross-country team won their second consecutive Southeast Region Championship on Saturday. 5 runners placed in the top 10, giving the Falcons their largest margin of victory in the program's history. Sophomore Katie Nelson finished in 3rd place with a time of 23 minutes and 17 seconds. Sophomore Sierra Millsaps finished just behind Nelson in 4th place. Juniors Anna Leinheiser and Cheyenne Thompson finished in 6th and 7th place. And fellow junior Catherine Torino rounded out the top 10 in 10th place. The Falcons will now prepare for the Women's Cross Country National Championship, which will be held in Joplin, Missouri on November 21st, 2015. The Falcon volleyball team had a big weekend at home with matches against Flagler University on Friday and Armstrong State University on Saturday. The Falcons topped the Saints 3-2 on Friday night. Senior Carissa Bell led the Falcons as she registered a match-high 29 digs for the 5th time in the past 9 matches. It was senior night on Saturday as the Falcons played host to Armstrong State University in hopes to remain undefeated at home for the first time since 2003. The Falcons senior class of Brianna Marquez, Carissa Bell, Nicole Holton, and Rebecca Phelps were honored before the game among friends and family to commemorate their respective careers in the purple and gold. The senior class own a 33-11 mark in home matches in their playing career. As for the game, the Pirates held off the Falcons in the final set of a thrilling 5-set match with a score of 3-2, handing the Falcons their first home loss of the season. Montevallo finished the regular season with a 9-1 record at home this season, marking the team's best home record since 2003. Coach Katie O'Brien says there's still room for improvement.
I don't think we were as consistent as we needed to be. We need to practice with consistency. We need to put it out on the game consistent because in reality we play good volleyball. It's just we kind of go a little bit here, there, making some mistakes we don't normally, and then we tighten up. We can bridge a gap pretty fast, but why have a gap to begin with?
The Falcons will return to action this Saturday with a trip to South Carolina to take on Francis Marion in a Peach Belt Conference match. First serve is set for 6 p.m. Central. Switching gears to soccer, the men's team ended their season with a loss in the first round of the Peach Belt Conference tournament last Tuesday. The men's soccer team fell to Flagler 5-1 in the Peach Belt Conference opener last Tuesday in St. Augustine, Florida. The Falcons took on the Flagler Saints in St. Augustine, Florida. The Falcons were outshot 18-9 in the contest with only 3 shots on goal. UM's lone goal came in the 78th minute with a header from Stephen Roca. With the loss, the Falcons end their season with a record of 6-10, 6-10-1, and 3-5-1 in Peach Belt Conference play. Let's switch gears to basketball, where the men's team has earned yet another preseason NCAA Division II ranking. men's basketball team is number 10 in the Basketball Times preseason poll released last week. The Falcons also received praise in 2 other National Division II preseason rankings. They ranked 20th in the National Association of Basketball Coaches. The men ranked 9th in the Sporting News preseason basketball rankings as well. The Falcons feature one returning starter, Malik Fields, and one key reserve, Bryant Orange, from a year ago. Fields, a 6'7" senior forward, averaged 6.9 points per game and 5 rebounds per game last season. Orange, a 6'3" senior guard, averaged 9.2 points per game and 3.8 rebounds off the bench last season. The Falcons will open up the season this Friday at home against Carver Bible College. First tip is set for 7:30 p.m. Meanwhile, the women lost in an exhibition match on Friday night on the road against South Alabama. The final score was 69-48. And this season, the women's basketball team is setting out to prove pollsters wrong after they were picked to finish last in the Peach Belt Conference. Preseason rankings have Columbus State picked to win the Peach Belt Conference, with Georgia College and Clayton State coming in second and third. Montevallo's at the bottom and 14th. The women's team is returning 4 starters for this season. Senior guards Catherine Goldsby and Jacqueline Thompson return to secure the backcourt for the Falcons, while senior forward Katie Colson and sophomore forward Kachija Carroll return to control the paint in the front court. The Falcons open regular season play at home this Friday against Concordia Selma. Tip-off is set for 5:30. Baseball season for the University of Montevallo is still a few months away, and with winter break on the horizon, the Falcons are putting together their finishing touches on their off-season workouts. Derek Jeter once said that there may be people that have more talent than you, but there's no excuse for someone to work harder than you. This quote from the former New York Yankee epitomizes what the Montevallo baseball program is all about. For 3 months now, the Falcon baseball team have been implementing their off-season workout plan in the weight room here at the SAC to prepare for their upcoming season. The workouts are different each day, focusing on key muscle groups for baseball players, like the shoulders, the core, and legs. strength coach Ed Langham says there are 2 separate workout routines. Pitchers focus on repetitive motion exercises, while position players focus on strength.
The main focus on the pitchers' workout is we're just wanting them to keep going constantly with not much rest, more of a functional workout. Whereas the fielders, it's more of an old-time, old-school type lift, heavy lifts, not really contorting the body in different ways as we do the pitchers.
Langham says there are 2 things the team likes to focus on above all else in the weight room. One is safety, and the other is proper form. Senior pitcher Aaron McCree has been in the off-season workout program for 4 years. He says this year's workout is different in some ways than in the past due to the coaches emphasizing lifting heavier weight.
This year's workout, we started implementing maxing, so we're actually getting to see how much our weight has increased over the semester.
The Falcons will complete off-season workouts with an Ironman competition November 16th through the 20th, showing which players made the most improvement over the semester. The Falcons begin their 2016 campaign on January 29th when they travel to St. Leo University for a 3-game series. And that's a look at this week's sports.
Thanks, Matt. That's all the time we have for this week's show. Thank you so much for joining us.
For more news from MassCom student reporters, be sure to check out the Falcon News Network blog. The web address is on your screen. We'll see you again next week.